People are social beings. Let's face it. How about you? During COVID-19, haven't you found yourself either venting, confiding in somebody that you're scared, that you're frustrated, complaining that you don't know what to do and you don't know what's true about your future in the fitness career you thought you were going to have? Well, your customers and clients are no different, or those prospective customers and clients. And the ones you've had, you don't want to lose. I'm Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to the Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast, where I share marketing and sales strategies that are anything but salesy, sleazy, or pushy so that you can create a business and a life that you love. And we're in the middle of COVID-19, and so everything I do right now has to be about it. The elephant in the room is really not the elephant in the room. There just is no other room but to talk about this and what you do right now. Because advice that may have been relevant, true, and worked back in January of 2020 before this all ever began won't work now. Neither will selling the things you used to sell. Neither will trying to hope and pray and doing that kind of wishful marketing that things are going to get back to where they were. They're not. Certainly not for a long, long time, but I think the truth is on the wall that they're not really ever going to go back there. They're going to go forward in some direction, and some of us will survive, some will thrive, and some will already be looking for a different career or job. So which are you? Before we dive into this episode about how important community is during COVID-19 and how you can facilitate and be that center for your members, clients, or prospective ones in your community at large, I want to let you know that the Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist is the sponsor for this episode, and right now is the best time to get started. Because when you're waiting, you're wondering what's going to happen. What I want you to know is this: there are 46 million women in menopause. There are 6,000 more every single day going into menopause. And women in midlife are not only seeking answers to what feels for them like a very urgent problem, and they're at a place generally in their lives and careers where they can either A, afford it, or B, are definitely willing to budget for it. But what else is true of them is that they influence 3 generations, at least, some potentially more, but their children, their peers and spouses or partners, and their parents and their in-laws or outlaws. And here's the truth: no one else has that kind of influence over health habits in the world. So if we can get her to take care of herself and see that that's the reason she wants to do it, we can really make a change. We can really become true influencers, not just on some social media channel, but really make a difference in the world. And if that's what you want to do, you want to be a part of it, especially if you're a female right now listening to this, who is between the ages of 40, shall we say, and 60, who wants to work with women in that same age group because that's who she wants to work with. Now's the time. The Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist has 2 options. I highly recommend that you do the second, where I can help you leverage what you know to build a business. And I am committed to making sure that those of you who want to stay and are passionate not just about fitness, but who are passionate about rolling up your sleeves and doing the things and learning the things that are uncomfortable, get the skills and the steps so that you can do it. I'll post the link, fitnessmarketingmastery.com/programs, in the show notes for today. And that'll be at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/community. Let's dive in. How do you start a fitness community during COVID-19? Let me backtrack. So people are social beings. There's so much documented about longevity and health connected to social connectance. This COVID-19 has gone on long enough that everyone to some degree is missing the connection with their groups, attending events with like-minded people, and the health benefits that come with it. And if you are in a fitness center, if you're in one, the same people aren't necessarily choosing to be there in a group right now. Schedules have changed, and that same faces aren't there even if members are coming in. You can be a solution for this entire problem. Whether people aren't coming in, they're isolated at home, not seeing their regular peeps, or they are coming in, but they're not seeing the people they usually see. You can provide yourself with a unique way to learn what offers right now may be of interest to your prospective members, meaning let them tell you what they would be interested in and would buy. You can use this as both nurturing for current clients and as something attractive for prospective clients. What platforms could you use? Facebook groups are an easy go-to. You just want to be careful that you're using the Facebook group and know that you're a visitor, you don't own that territory. So you're going to use it wisely and collect emails from those members. You can also use Zoom, town hall type meetings, but again, there you have a little bit more control. So if they have to opt in, they have to register, they have to give you their email, you're in much better shape. And that way people can see each other. I personally use GoToWebinar, and I have for probably been 9 years now. And my problem is I don't want to change because I'm invested pretty deep in it. And yet the disadvantage is that I can't see their faces. I can show them mine, but it's not quite the same as them seeing that Brady Bunch effect of everybody who's there on the screen. The idea is to create a community within a community. You may think you've done that, say with your membership, but the reality is some of your members have nothing in common with each other. You want to find ways to connect people to each other, not just to you, and then serve them in that group. Think clusters of smaller groups with special interests. So here's some ideas for developing small fitness community groups. And this is going to blow your mind. There are so many different ways. So within a large fitness center, if you're a big umbrella fitness center and you've got different audiences you've served, like the kids, the children of your members, the young adult athletes, those that are really active masters level athletes, those people who are coming in who are frail and really need very special support, those group fitness groupies, the people who are doing one-on-one and private personal training, who've got that VIP kind of membership, your water fitness babes. You know, there are all these unique different niches and cliques within your membership. Think about them. But here's some ideas that I've got for you. Classes for kids online, even if you never have served children before. You could now, because what you're doing is really serving their parents. You can do movement classes of all kinds. You could do snack making. You could read stories to them. What you're really doing is giving their parents a break. It's a parents' night off. So you read to them, you play games with them, you teach them card tricks or magic tricks. You teach them skills or tricks or drills. Show them how to dribble a basketball, do around the waist, through the legs. Do yoga with them. Teach them a dance, choreography. Okay, moving on from kids, cooking and meal prep classes. Focus on a problem, not on a food. Really important here that you go back to problem, solution. So focus on time. Focus on food sensitivities. Focus on dressings and dip making that help those people with food sensitivities who otherwise can't enjoy the barbecue. Focus on barbecue marinades and sauces with less sugar. Focus on substitutions for sugar. Focus on ways that you can eliminate gluten in some of the favorite foods we love that have gluten in it. Expand your wellness and health habits. So if you've only done fitness, it's just been about one-on-one personal training, exercise, exercise, exercise. Expand. So they come to you for that. They know they want the exercise one-on-one, or they want the exercise videos. But what about talking about sleep habits? What about talking about stress, about drinking water? What about talking about immune boosting supplements that you're taking right now that they may want to consider? And I know what you're thinking. So as I talk about speaking about immunity and exercise and the relation and a different kind of exercise prescription, you also may start to get uncomfortable, feeling like, well, I don't feel like I'm an expert in that. Here's the thing, during COVID-19, nobody has to be an expert to have a conversation. Community is people talking. So what could emerge, though, is a need and a reason to bring someone in. Bring in experts to be in your community and talk. So in a Facebook group, bring in a doctor. Bring in a pediatrician who can talk about the damaging effects of sugar on your children's immune system right now, and why it's not the thing to do and what they could do instead. So here now is how to handle the workload. I just may have dumped a whole lot of ideas on you that you may be thinking, okay, great, but who's going to do this? Right? Because some of us are working twice as hard. We are not watching Netflix like the rest of the world. Do you have a team? If you do, have one of them, each one of them, do one group a week. Do one live in a group a week. And remember this, you don't want a group for your entire community. You want different pods of groups, right? So for the parents who want to have classes for their kids online with you, for those who want the cooking and the meal prep, for those who want to talk about sleep and water, hydration, supplements, vitamins. So make sure you're segmenting. So getting into groups so that what you're providing appeals to them is so important. Give each of your groups and the professional or the team member who's going to do it and manage that group a day of the week. If you do choose to say, no, we can only do one group, it's all we can handle, then give each day of the week a theme. Maybe Monday through Friday, you say, okay, on Monday we do kids, it's kids groups. It's, for the parents, we're going to do the basketball drills, we're going to have a theme day, and come up with 4 to 8 weeks so that you've got a plan. On Tuesday, maybe it's your cooking classes. On Wednesday, maybe it's all about how to stretch, relax, do yoga, maybe teach them a little meditation and mindfulness. You decide, but focus on some kind of a theme Monday through Friday. Use the weekends just to send out those links in your emails to get people into the groups, to get more engagement, to create more loyalty to you. Your segmented list that wants them. So I'm going to link here to a show I did a couple days ago talking about your email list and better tips for better marketing. So it's totally important right now that you don't just mass and blast everybody, because a 65-year-old on your email list has a very different sense of need and urgency about her immune system than does a 22 or 25-year-old on your email list. And you need to be segmenting these people, otherwise you're just totally missing the boat. And they're pretty soon, nobody's going to open up your emails because they don't pertain to them ever. So get those lists segmented now. That's crucial for your survival. And the emails that you have, those email lists are the way that you will eventually, not just now, create community, create rapport, let them know when you've published something for them, but eventually that's how you sell people. That's how you communicate. Occasionally, not every time, because if you're only offering them something every time you email and it's never something of value, you're going to lose them. Only those people who then would have bought anyway are going to be opening up those emails. So, listen, if you're still emailing everyone on your list every time you email, now more than ever, you're killing your success. If you send all your emails out to all your customers, you can't nurture your people with what they really want. You ignore their behavior. So if they don't open, you should know, okay, I can't send them this topic anymore. That should be a clue that you're not talking about them to anything that's interesting to them. If customers aren't opening your emails because the titles or the contents were never for them, if they did open them, it's a pretty sure thing that you're never going to sell them. You've got to get this right. This is potentially where you should stop listening to this episode and go roll up your sleeves and decide, I may not know what to do now, but I'm going to figure it out. Don't forget that fitness community segments that you've ignored still could be sitting there waiting. How long have you been ignoring the people on your list that your personal trainers have the least in common with? So maybe it's you, maybe it's your email list and you are the trainer. But what about the guys in the weight room who are there more than you think they should be? They definitely have something they want, right? They're there early every morning or every night after work or both, and there's probably something they would respond to if you started talking about it in your emails. Talk about their protein needs, their recovery needs, the ability to gain lean muscle or avoid injury from doing XXX by switching it out to ABC. Wouldn't there be value in finding out if you're leaving money on the table? Those are people who are likely to buy, and right now we don't want to ignore any low-hanging fruit. There are more topics to get you started here. So have a nutritionist or a health coach. Cooking in simple ways to eat well. Get specific. Teach to a special audience. Teach to older adults. Teach to moms with young kids. Teach to the cooking for one older or younger segment. Do a segment on salads in a jar, making dips and dressings. Talk about the difference between keto and paleo. There are so many things that you can be doing on a regular basis to increase your business, to increase your engagement. Have your massage therapist teach a myofascial release session. I mean, who better to do it? Although you think that will decrease your need for their work, you couldn't be further from the reality. Random bits of information and videos ultimately give you the opportunity to serve first, engage with followers, gain their trust, and see what they need and want. And it's going to be more structure than this. Do it live. All right, now I know if you're a procrastinator, you're worried about what people think, getting flustered or getting it perfect. Focus on the real connection when you're human, right? When you're face to face. Nobody wants perfect. Be relatable, especially now. Everyone has roots grown out, unruly hair, has gained a couple pounds, is a bit forgetful. Talk about that, in fact. I would talk about the elephant in the room. Do it live, even if there doesn't seem to be a large live audience. There's something about live that is attractive and real and raw, just like I would say if you're not recording live classes that you're teaching and you're paying people who aren't working right now, that's crazy. You should be recording your spinning instructors teaching, your yoga classes, your Zoom classes, and sharing those recordings with your customer base. Whether you gift them a new video weekly in a members area and you organize them by category, or you use this area as a new product to sell right now, it's gold and you're wasting an opportunity. You always right now want to be doing something once that you can use and profit from multiple times. After you have the live meeting, you do the live recording. Share the recordings in emails. Segment your list for those that want the food, the core, the stretching, the yoga for cyclists and runners, whatever your themes are. Don't make the mistake of doing what you want to do. Base this on the most popular classes you have, the ones that were packed before COVID-19, and poll your customers. Try SurveyMonkey or Typeform. Those are great tools that you can use, and they both have a free option. So you can only poll probably 100 in SurveyMonkey. I'm not sure what the limit is in Typeform before you have to do a charge, but even creating 3 or 4 different SurveyMonkey links that you can use. If you survey 300 people, you're going to get a lot of information back. You'll know, what do they want? What do they need more of right now? Don't skip the survey. Even if you've been in business for a long time and you feel like, I know my customers, I've got it, perfect, I'm in. Let them tell you what they want. Segment your members into personal training clients, group fitness attendees, and all of the rest. Those 3 groups specifically. So if you're in a big club, this is you. If you're not, you only have personal training clients, you might segment into, here are my privates, here are my group training clients. But otherwise, make sure you've segmented them so you can kind of peel them out. There's some common denominators in those people who are personal training clients, right? Then there are those who are like just group fitness attendees. That's what they do, that's what they love. And then there's the rest who really prefer to just come in, do their own thing, and you'll learn something different about each of them in ways that you may be missing opportunities. And you might also include, if you have other services like massage therapy clients, include them. Or if you've got a nursery and kids gym, include the parents of those people separately as well. How you ask on a survey or a poll is everything. Ask just a few very short questions. You could include a list of some of the topics above and say, what are you most interested in? What do you need most right now? What's your biggest obstacle? And give them some options to check, and then have one line that says other. So they can fill in the blank, but it takes them seconds or minutes to answer each of your questions. So ask them to list in order of importance their top 3, like 1 and 2 and 3 would be this. They can rank them. Include one open-ended option for them each time, so remember that. And then at the bottom, you can say, is there anything you want to add? When they respond, make sure that before you ask the questions, have them include their gender, their age, and their email address. And let them know this is just for collection's sake. We're not going to email you this. But that way you have a way to segment them again for your email list if they're there. A real fitness community. Everyone has a voice and a vote in a community. So it shouldn't be just you talking to them. And I know you have to set the standard operating procedures. You set the rules in the groups that you create, and you let them know that anybody who doesn't observe or who breaks these rules, their comment will be removed, they'll be warned, and the member may be removed. You can say those things. It's contrary to popular belief that the customer is always right. I don't think they are. And they don't always choose what they need, but people buy what they want. So if you remember that, you've got to find out what they want, be able to serve them, engage them, and support their messy lives right now. The only way you're going to know what those things are is by asking them. If you're not emailing your best customers, your next customers, and your prior customers in separate groups regularly, you're missing an opportunity that they're finding online in other groups and communities, and they're purchasing elsewhere. Why not with you? There you have it. There are a lot of opportunities, and your head may be spinning. There are a lot of ideas here. Go back through this and pick 1 or 2 things. If you're emailing everybody on your list in one big batch and you're not segmenting, that would be the absolute place to begin. the second step that I would take if I were in your shoes and not segmented yet. Do that first, but then next, decide who's the first group that you want to create. So you may have a Facebook page, but creating a group makes it all the more special and private, and let them know what you're going to do before you start the group. After you've polled and you figured out with your members and your clients and customers and those people already on your list what they're interested in. If it's cooking ideas, it's a way to get to sleep, it's immune boosting, not busting exercise. What is it that they need most? Then decide, here's what we're going to do inside this group. Here's what we're going to be providing. It won't be available outside of the group. Do you want to join? Here's how. Then provide them with the link. That is how I would get started. Everybody's looking for community. They want a sense of it. They'd love to see people and go out, but it's only small groups for a lot of people right now. And we've had a surge, we've had spikes, and we potentially will again. So this need is going to go on. Now's the time to get started. So there you have it. How to start and why. A fitness community during COVID-19 to support not only your customers and your clients, but your business in ways that you can really influence their life and behavior. This will be at the show notes at the risk of having more than one podcast at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/community. What are you waiting for? Make a difference. The world has never needed you more.